went to my first ever Pride yesterday. It was so fucking cute. There was this one older woman who had a sign that said free mom hugs, and that was like genuinely one of the most wholesome things I've ever seen. It's funny because I don't ever dress like that in public, especially like if I'm going out partying with my friends. I don't want to do too much. If we're just like going out to party together and there's gonna be a ton of straight men around, I don't want to be doing too much. But if it's for a pride parade and it's for the girlies and the gays, for all I care, I could be butt-ass naked and still feel comfortable. So yeah, really liked the fit I had yesterday, and some people in Washington too, because like I was just like sitting there in Wash Square hanging out with my friends, and on 2 separate occasions, a photographer, someone with a camera would walk by and then just like very nonchalantly with their camera down by their side as they were passing me super fast, snap it upwards and get a shot of me and then just keep walking like nothing happened. And the fact that it happened twice, my roommate was like, damn, they're really fucking with your fit today. I did not think it was that cool, but I'm very flattered. And I slathered my entire body in glitter, and there's glitter everywhere. There's glitter on our floors. This morning there's glitter on the bath towels, the bathtub, my loofah, my black loofah. The glitter is so obvious on my black loofah. It stands out so badly. On the bath mat as well, in the doorway, on the rug. There's glitter everywhere. Like for thrifting specifically, I really want to find a pair of obnoxiously baggy pants, like disgustingly baggy. You know, what's it called? Blush blindness. I want to have like baggy blindness. The space they have here is so freaking cool. Like on top of the insane decor, they even have a little home goods section as well as jewelry for sale. And like one super cool detail I love is that since there's a tattoo parlor in the back, they need some kind of like privacy barrier to block it off. And instead of putting up a screen or something, they have this curtain that they project old black and white movies on. And it's so unique. And like, I'm like, how did they come up with that? It's just so cool. And living in NYC for this long has desensitized me to so much bullshit. Like for a moment, I genuinely thought they were selling these metal pegs for $45, $65. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like something only NYC would have the audacity for. And then I realized that they were just small paperweights for the soap and candle right next to it. Their mugs are freaking gorgeous. Like one day when I have real adult money, I really want to come here and buy one. My high school band teacher had a wall of lightsabers that all had like triple-digit price tags, and I think his most expensive one was like $400. So now whenever I see random expensive things that I don't need, I think of him and the spending habits that you can afford when you have a paycheck and no kids. Truly an inspiration to high school me. One small complaint that I have about this cafe is they don't have too many tables. Like as comfy as this couch was, it really had me slumped over my laptop like a shrimp. I worked for a decent chunk of the afternoon, and then it was time for me to go thrifting, and this place was massive. Like, they had a whole other room in the back on top of this. So yeah, I got straight to work hunting for a disgustingly baggy pair of pants. And once I got into the fitting rooms, I realized I'm actually the dumbest bitch alive. Like, if you shook my head, you'd hear rocks for real, because I stuck my foot with my shoe still attached into this pair of jeans, and it got stuck, because of course it did. And I think the teeny tiny size of this fitting room just made my brain turn off or something. Like, put me in a cramped 2 square feet box, and I will simply stop thinking, I guess. The friction of the rubber soles against the denim made it so hard to get it off. Like, I was panicking in there, and I was doing so much wiggling in such a tiny space. I kept brushing against the curtain on my side, and then I kept accidentally bumping into the person next to me because we were essentially like inches apart with just a curtain separating us. Like, these fitting rooms were comically small. I felt so bad for violating these jeans with my shoe that once I wiggled out, I didn't even try them on properly. I just put them back on the hanger because personally, if I was a pair of jeans and some motherfucker did that to me, I would be so offended. And then the next 2 pair of jeans, I just put my foot through it like God intended, and I wasn't really feeling them. I prefer my jeans to be super low-waisted because I have a long torso in proportion to the rest of my body, and I don't know, something about high-waisted stuff kind of looks unflattering on me because of it, which sounds counterintuitive, but I don't get it either. And after that, I started snooping in the sweater section because something about it almost being 90 degrees outside really makes the sweaters and hoodies start calling my name. I had trouble getting the collar of this sweater over my massive head, and the edge snagged on one of my piercings, and oh my god, it's not even a recent piercing. I got it like 2 months ago, but I keep fiddling and messing with it, so honestly, this one's on me. These skirts were so cute, but because of my long-ass torso, I have really stubby legs proportional to the rest of my body, and so these kinds of midi-length skirts are always really unflattering on me. This top, oh my god, this top broke my heart. The pattern is gorgeous, like so freaking unique. I love the interlocking lines. It reminded me kind of like an AMC carpet, but in a good way, which is an incredibly niche comparison, but I'm really nostalgic about it. I also love the little teardrop cutout, but this top was just way too big on me. Like in this clip, it looks like it fits perfectly fine, but the neckline is like fully below my boobs, and also the straps aren't adjustable, so it's cooked, I fear. Like, this top broke my heart. Also, I've never been so devastated that something wasn't in my size because the embroidery on these shoes were so stupidly pretty. Also, this place was covered in college merch. Like, these clips aren't even half of it. And I saw a lot of Boston schools, which made me really sad because, like, guys, why are you giving away your school merch? That's my home city. You gotta represent. Now, there's nothing I love more than a good newsboy hat that makes me look like some fuck-ass 12-year-old kid, but this one was too small to fit on my giant head, and it kind of looks like a flat saucer just sitting on top of me. But I guess that's what these hats kind of look like in general. I've been looking for a good denim skirt, but this one was just a little too blue for me, which you can't really tell on the footage at all. I sound crazy right now, but it was a very warm blue, and unfortunately, I was just not really fucking with the color. I loved this silver shawl because I've been looking for a good swimsuit cover-up, and it was real silk, so the material was like insanely lightweight, and it felt like wearing air. However, I couldn't really think of any outfits I'd pair this with besides a bikini, and I've been trying to find a cover-up that could double as both a bolero for a dress or like something like that. And if I can't imagine myself using a piece, often I tend not to buy it, especially since the label said it wasn't machine washable. Not that that's ever really stopped me. I machine wash basically everything. Anyways, after that I headed out and there was an insane amount of filming equipment outside. Sometimes I wonder what the point of thrifting is if I'm not gonna buy anything. And then I remember like overconsumption of thrifted clothing, secondhand clothing is still overconsumption, so it's good to stay picky. I try to keep myself as picky as possible. Honestly, even though I didn't buy anything, I still just like looking at clothes. Like, thrifting is still fun to me if I'm not spending money. Looking at clothes, trying on clothes, that still gives me the dopamine hit. The next place I went into was this boutique called Venus in Tokyo, which is one of my favorite places to window shop in because it's just covered in trinkets and jewelry and a bunch of really random niche pieces. Like these two bikinis, so freaking cute. And I especially love these cat necklaces. It kind of reminded me of clown makeup, but in a good way. This hat kind of reminds me of this sheep one that I already have. Very, very cute. But yeah, 10 out of 10 place to window shop. There's like so many really niche small businesses that it's hard to discover anywhere else. Very much small business prices, but you know, that's why it's my window shopping spot. This next place is one of my favorite spots in Williamsburg. It's called Brooklyn Junk, and oh my god, every time I step in here, I always burn hours. I saw this vase just as I walked in and it was love at first sight. Like literally I grabbed it immediately and just look at her. She needs no explanation. She was coming home with me immediately. The pot that I currently have my bamboo planted in is low-key way too short. Like my girl is precariously leaning. This was a much needed upgrade and she will get some stability finally. This place truly lives up to its name because there's just so much random stuff. Like there's a whole pile just for fun-shaped candles. Funny story, last year my parents' mahjong set was missing a piece and I actually replaced it here. They have a mahjong tiles basket, a cookies cutters basket, a button basket, basically a basket for anything you could imagine. Also, earlier this year, my friends and I pulled money to buy one of my roommates a record player, so now we have one of those in our apartment, and one of these days I really want to bring home a nice jazz vinyl. I totally would have stayed to sift through these one by one, but it was getting later in the day and I was hungry, so I kind of wanted to just head home and make dinner soon. In my dream home, this mini globe would have made the perfect coffee table decor on top of some like aesthetic books about architecture or self-improvement, but I live in a college apartment with 3 other girls, so our coffee table is always covered in random shit. I was also considering this porcelain cake knife because Lord knows our household will use it, but our kitchen is already so full of random appliances and utensils, I didn't want to pack it with more. This store also has a mezzanine level where the paintings are stored, and again, I wish I could have stayed here for hours to sort through them one by one, but I was hungry and I wanted to head home soon. The range is crazy though, because they have everything from like realism paintings to this random kid's drawing of his family. And if you ever thought your home was missing a photograph of this random married couple, this store has that. And 3 bathing babies if you want that as well. And also some guy's graduation certificate. Whatever this thing is, whatever that is, they have it all. I can't even lie, I want this. My dad and my brother fish a lot. And we're Chinese. They're not old, but I fuck with this painting. It's shiny, and then they have a little cubby where you can put little knickknacks. The concept of having an alcohol dispenser in your apartment, I needed this so bad. I don't think I've ever seen myself look as happy as I do in this clip. I look like I'm presenting a newborn child. And that is my child, in fact. I gave birth to her last night. Genuinely, how does one even acquire a collection of these? And also, what is that? I love how there's just a typewriter sitting here. So freaking random. If I didn't already find the vase for my bamboo, I might have picked up one of these glass sculptures. To be honest, I'm always looking for things to spoil my plants with. I'm so happy. At this point, I was happy to get home, and this is my bamboo plant. She is held up by hopes and dreams, just propped up by my Smitsky, essentially. There's no structural support. And for the rest of the night, I just spent it working on my nail set and watching the second Minions movie with my roommates. 10 out of 10 film, I have no notes. But yeah, that was my day. I'm done. Bye-bye.